All right, so let's apply what we learned about combinations and apply it to explaining the odds of winning the lottery. And you can see here the solution already, but I will derive it step by step separately. So if you take a look at this lottery here, so it's the Georgia lottery, so you can win. It's not so important how much you can win, so it's more about the odds. So here, if you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right out of 56, but you miss the Super Bowl, then you win 250,000. But if you additionally guess the 5 right, plus the Super Bowl, which is 1 out of 46, then you win the jackpot as well. So what we have to figure out is, what's the probability of winning the jackpot, and what's the probability of just winning 250,000. And here, the lottery website reports the odds. And whenever the probability is very, very, very small, then the odds ratio is a little bit more insightful. So what that tells you is that the chance of winning the jackpot is either 1 over 175,711,536, which is something with lots of zeros in terms of a probability, or 1 out of 175,711,536 events. And winning just the 5 out of the 56, that has a probability or an odds ratio of 1 to 3,904,701. Okay, so actually let me copy this one here, and let's just derive everything. Okay. Again, so here, so what's the probability that you win the jackpot? So here, the first question is, what's the probability that you get 5 right out of 56? So there's a bowl with 56 balls, 5 are being drawn, the order doesn't matter, so we have a combination. So so we would say 56, choose 5. So how many combinations are there? Okay, so let's quickly solve that in Excel. So we would use the formula equals combin. Okay, number 56, chosen 5. Okay, so there are, let's add some. Okay, so there are 3 million. Okay. Okay, so there are 3 million. 819,816. So there are 3,819,816 ways of drawing 5 balls from a bowl of 56. Okay, so the probability then would be, what's the probability, the corresponding probability that you get 5 right out of 56. So the probability that you get 5 right out of 56, well, that is then 1 over this. That would be the probability. So that's lots of zeros, 0.000 something. But you see, you only win the jackpot if you get 5 right out of 56 and the Super Bowl. So that is the multiplication rule. So and those are independent events. So the probability of getting 5 right out of 56 and the Super Bowl, I think that's what it's called, the Super Bowl. So this is n, so we know that's the multiplication rule, and that is then 1 over 3,819,816 times 1 over 46, because the probability that you get the Super Bowl is 1 over 46. Okay, so now we can just multiply. So this is, let's just take care of the denominator. So that is 3,819, actually forgot, equals 3,819,816 times 46. Okay, so there are 175,711,536 ways to get 5 right out of 56 and the Super Bowl. Okay, so you see this is the same number as this one here. So the odds ratio is 1 to 175,711,536. Okay, so it's pretty small. So how do we get this one here? So then getting only 5 right and winning only 250,000, well, this is basically the probability of getting 5 right out of 56 and not the Super Bowl, which is the complement to it. So I call that Super Bowl prime, not the Super Bowl. So that's Super Bowl prime. Well, the first term is still the same. 1 over but not winning the Super Bowl is 45 over 46. Okay. So now what is this? So now we would say this is equal to, so let's start with the numerator. That's 45. The denominator, that is equal to 3,819,816 times 46. So now if I get the probability, so then I get here, I'm going to put that quickly aside, so this is 45 over 1757. Of course, it's the same as here, 711, 536. Okay. So, but now we have to convert that into a probability because we have to bring it down to 1, 2. So let's get the probability. So that is equal to. So now you see what I will do in Excel. Let's get the fraction. Let's divide 45 by this. And we get something with lots of zeros. And maybe we can tell Excel to, let's see how many, let's say we take 20 decimal points. Okay, so this is the probability, 0 point, bunch of zeros, that you get 5 right, but not the Super Bowl. So now, in order to get to the odds ratio, which is 1 over 3,904,701, we now just take the inverse of this probability. So we do 1 divided by this. And then you see, if you round it, we get 1 to 3,904,701. So that would be the odds ratio. Okay, so this is how you will calculate it, and you can see how the combinations matter when you want to calculate the odds of winning the lottery. And here on the slide I have it again, also step by step. But now you also know how to use Excel. Okay, so that's pretty much everything, like an introduction to probability. And let's review everything again in a couple of problem sets, and yeah, let's just practice there. All right, so see you in the next video.